disagreed on one player.
Yep.
That player is probably the most important player in this big game. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. Do we want to claim Bama? Do we want to claim Oklahoma? That's for folks to decide. But he was a standout at both of those places, obviously. Whether you think he was built by Bama or a Sooner for life, Jalen Hurts. Personally, we had three categories here: not surprised, decently surprised, and outright shocked. I put Jalen Hurts that he's in this position, quarterback of arguably the best team in the NFL this year. I am pretty much outright shocked that he is in the position that he is. You were not surprised at all. So we are on two opposite ends of the
Right.
spectrum. Personally, for me, when Jalen Hurts was coming out, I obviously his college career was fantastic, right? He, led Alabama to a national championship game. I know that he was pulled in the fourth quarter for Tua Tagovailoa. The rest is history. Then he goes to Oklahoma and he's a Heisman contender, and he's one of very few guys that have ever done it at two power programs in at quarterback. The list might be him. I'm blanking of anybody else that's done it to the level that he did at two different programs. But all the time when I watched him, I thought, great college quarterback, awesome player, really fun to watch in college. I don't know that he's going to translate to the NFL. And that's why I am outright shocked that he's in the position that he is. I know the stats. I know that he was, great at both places. But man, I personally am just shocked that he is in this position.
Yeah, no, I personally have no surprises here that Jalen Hurts is here. Maybe this early on in his career, I'm a little shocked that he made it this quickly. But it seems like something clicked there in Philly, and the offense is humming and everything's working out there. So I'm not necessarily shocked that Jalen Hurts is here, though. When we talk about and going back to some of our draft coverage and what we're doing there, a lot of the things that you're going to hear going into the draft almost every year is going to be some of those less proven quarterbacks, but you talk about their measurables, right? You talk about, oh, they got a cannon of an arm, and oh, he's fast, he's athletic, we can build something around that. That's Jalen Hurts, if you're asking me. The only difference there is with a lot of these quarterbacks, guys like this year, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, we haven't really seen them succeed at the collegiate level. So while we might believe in arm strength or the ability to learn and read the field and make good reads and everything else like that, and we want to think that we're building the next Josh Allen here, the reality is we haven't seen a lot of those guys succeed at the college level. Jalen Hurts, I mean, he was extremely successful at Alabama. He would have been the starter for a championship if it wasn't for the fact that he scored a little too quick against Clemson, and that gave them just enough time for what was it, Hunter Renfro that backed into the end zone there, and
It was, yeah, and
yeah,
Alabama
so
fans are screaming right now because of, pick play,
yeah,
but,
pick play. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, pick play. If you want to say stole, okay, I'm going to say that they won it, but whatever. It stole a championship because he led them on a game tying, winning, go ahead drive towards the end of that game. Just ended up leaving a little too much time on the clock. And then to go to Oklahoma and to be as successful as he was, you look at some of the guys that he learned under, coached by what Sark was the offensive coordinator at Alabama when he was there, and then coached by Lincoln Riley. Those are two great offensive minds to learn from, to be coached by, to understand what an offense looks like. And the way that the game is changing in the NFL, biasing towards athletic quarterbacks who can make something happen, who it's not just a straight running quarterback, but a guy who can make accurate throws, deliver the football with some oomph, and then if the play breaks down, extend the play, scramble, find something. That's where the game's going right now in the NFL. It's where it's been heading the last 5 or 10 years. And I think that, I mean, Jalen Hurts is built for the way that the game is right now. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, I'd have told you there's no way. But just who he is and the game that he's playing right now, I'm thrilled for him, excited for him. And I also think that this just makes sense to me that he would be here. He was the number one dual threat guy coming out of high school. You could
yeah,
have almost predicted this just coming out of his high school career, that if you're the number one dual threat quarterback, probably more times than not, you'll find your way to success in college and get a chance in the NFL. So I'm thrilled for him. I'm not surprised at all that he's here. And as far as what school gets to claim him, I mean that's a funny Twitter conversation, but I think both can personally. I don't see why one school has to claim him or the other one. I mean, if we're limiting it to where he finished his career, then are we talking about the Texas A&M legend Trevor Knight? That's I mean it was 1 year, right? He had the majority of his success in his career at Oklahoma. Then he comes over to A&M for a year and has a fun time. But I don't know. It's
Yeah. And
y'all
that
can both claim him. He's
it's
good.
really interesting because it's not like Joe Burrow, right? Like,
No,
obviously, Joe Burrow started his career at Ohio State. Ohio State's never gonna try to claim I'm sure some people on Ohio State Twitter will try to claim him,
there
but
there have been a few.
yeah, there's always a few in every fan base, but no reasonable Ohio State fan is gonna try to claim Joe Burrow because all of his success was at LSU.
Hmm.
With Jalen Hurts, he had legit success. He went to back-to-back title games at Alabama, so
Yeah.
it's a really unique situation. I don't really blame it's kind of funny to watch Alabama claim Jalen Hurts. I don't think if he wasn't in the Super Bowl, I don't think they would be standing on their head to claim him,
Yeah.
as much as they are, but it's just kind of funny to watch because of how many guys that Alabama could claim. But look, I don't really fault them for it. He was a big part of those championship caliber teams.
Gracious him.